So my name is Sheila McIlraith, and I'm a professor in the Department of Computer Science at the University of Toronto. My research specialty is artificial intelligence. I study mathematical foundations and computational techniques associated with AI, so sort of the science and the practice of AI. If I think about some of the types of topics that I've addressed recently, those include common sense reasoning, sequential decision making, so automated plan generation, automated diagnosis, and for applications like NASA space systems or cognitive robotics, it sort of runs the gamut. I guess one thing that probably characterizes my work is that I tend to look at problems that require more deliberative thinking rather than sort of reactive or perceptual tasks, straight perceptual tasks. So I guess what really interests me is or what's been my passion is really how the brain works and a fascination with how we learn, how we reason, how we empathize, how we feel emotions to be selfless or compassionate, and also how we just perform complex tasks in the world. And so a lot of that, what we've done historically is used models to do those sorts of things, but models are hard to find, or they're not reliable, or they don't work in all cases. And so learning is a fundamental component of all of those tasks, because the world is typically unpredictable, and so we have to continue to interact in the environment to learn how it operates and to learn how to act in the context of what we're observing around us. So that's where reinforcement learning comes in, and I'm very interested in how that sort of sweet spot between representation and models and learning, and how we can combine all of them together, not only for learning and for reasoning. One thing that appeals to me about Vector is just the critical mass of people who share my passion for artificial intelligence, and the quality of the people who are here. Another thing that is very compelling for me, again, as I alluded to before, I have worked a lot on deliberative tasks, and a lot of the work that's been done here, or a lot of the work that's been done in machine and deep learning to date, has been on more reactive tasks. And so I think there are really great potentials for synergies and interesting and diverse collaborations that what might not be possible otherwise. The other thing that really engages me about Vector is that although I do foundational work, a lot of the work that I do is quite mathematical. I'm motivated by real world problems. I'm very grounded in the real world. I like to do things that are practical, and that's where I get my insights. And I think Vector's a real beacon for people who have problems in AI, hard problems that need to be solved, and I find those really the opportunity to potentially be exposed to new problems and new data is a great aspect of being associated with Vector. It's hard to say what the future of AI is, and yes, I do anticipate some hurdles. So certainly, I think AI has. I don't think any of us 5 or 10 years ago would have predicted the scale and the velocity of the advances in AI. It really, I think for those of us who've been in the field for a long time, it's really amazing. And I think that there are going to be a lot of wonderful things that AI is going to do to impact people's daily lives in a positive way, both in terms of discovering new complex patterns in data that will help us in a diversity of fields, but also I think in really building technology that will help people who are, in particular, who are perhaps physically or cognitively disadvantaged in some way. I think that's true, but I also think there's great risk of the technology that we're building being abused in some way. So I don't think that I think we as technologists and people who are familiar with AI really have to be stewards for the field and to watch and care for its use. What else can I say? I guess the other thing I think is that we're nowhere near. A common question people ask is whether we're close to human level AI, and my answer to that question would be no. I think there are a lot of just very simple things commonsensical things that humans do, that a 3-year-old can do without thinking, that just still remain elusive for AI researchers. So I think we're still a ways away from achieving human-level AI. One thing that really interests me is the societal impact of AI, and I guess I alluded to it in my previous comments, but I think that it's very important for us to be, as AI researchers, to be cognizant of the impact of our technology and our science on society, and to integrate that into what we do. There's a lot of talk now about safe AI and AI being aligned with human values, and how to do that. I think that's a big hurdle or a big challenge, something that we don't understand how to do yet, and I think we need to proceed with caution, and I think that we need to encourage those who are using technologies to be cognizant of the potential impacts of the technology, both on society, on the workforce, but also in terms of the work that is being done with the AI and the quality and implications of that work.